Hello everybody, so today I'll explain to you guys why to use Slater, how to use him, why he's so good as a support right now, and how to build him out. So let's start with his skills. As for his passive, when an allied hero attacks a bleeding enemy, their crit chance increases by 30%. So this means if I am going to attack an enemy with Meliodas and I do a critical hit, I do 30% more damage with that critical hit. So my overall damage, if I crit every single time, is increased by 30%, which is massive. It's like a huge boost. It's if you get to 100% crit chance, you have a permanent 30% crit damage increase. That means if you get on your gear 10% crit chance or 7% attack damage, the 10% crit chance will be better because you are building towards this crit damage increase by 30%. You keep critting, crits do more damage in general, and you add a 30% on top of it. Then we have his normal attack, which is just an axe swing, and you have his special attack, which inflicts bleed for 20 seconds, and if fully charged, it increases your damage done by crits again by decreasing the enemy's crit resistance by 20% for 30 seconds. This means that if you are going to hit the enemy with a fully charged special attack, you will critical hit easier. So if you have like, for example, 80% crit chance and you apply this, you will nearly have 100% crit because you bring down the crit resistance by 20%. This is very good. This makes the enemy negate less crits. You have a high crit chance by default. You can build up to like 70-80% if all your gear has crit chance and everything is decked out. So this is a very realistic scenario if you are going to be playing for a long time. You won't have it today. I don't have it yet. I have like 40% crit chance right now, as I rerolled my sword to get some more damage in and less crits, which I don't know if it was better, but I wanted to test it out, and it seems to be about the same. So at first I had 10% crit chance on my sword, and now I have a lot of damage stuff on my sword, but in general I do about the same amounts of damage, maybe even a little bit less. So I'm still testing it out, and I think right now it's better to have crit chance on your weapons. Then we have his normal skill, which gives enhanced bleed. This is not really that good. I wouldn't even bother using it except for charging your skill bar, but it doesn't add a lot of damage, so just ignore this. His attack skill is also not that important. It's just a bit of damage when you swap to him. And then you have his ultimate, which is pretty good. It inflicts deep wounds for 15 seconds if the enemy is bleeding. So if you first do your special attack and then you do your ultimate afterwards, you increase the damage the enemy is taking by another 25% for 15 seconds. So in total, you will do 20% crit resistance down, you will get 30% more crit damage, and you will do 25% more damage in general if you use like both these skills. If you don't, you still get the 30% crit damage increase, but it's just in general so much decreases for the enemy and buffs for yourself that it's too good to not use this. I think this is why Slater is the best support character to build in the game right now. Especially since he is an SR, he's very easily obtainable. Nearly everybody has him. I'm pretty sure if you just pull a little bit, you will get him. And in my opinion, he's even worth pulling for so you can get him and start using him because he just adds so much value to the team. So now I will go and fight the dragon twice. Once I will use Slater and once I will not use him. And I will only use his Q as his ultimate. In my opinion, it takes too long for too little value as the dragon is very time sensitive. So yeah, I'll show you guys right now. Alright, for the first dragon run, it's without Slater. I'll just burst it with Jericho, and then I'll attack with Meliodas and show you guys what the damage output will be. There we go. There's almost the burst. There it is. There we go. So he does fly away, but we did a lot of damage. Now I'll go and set up the fight with Slater. Alright, now for the fight with Slater, I'll show you guys the extra value he adds and why I think he's so good. Because I could get buffed somewhere else, but he just adds the most. And he's an SR character, so it's just really good. There we go. We attack him. We go and freeze him real quick. There we go. Spam E. And he's dead. This is exactly why I think Slater is so good. Because you can just see firsthand that he adds so much value. I did not even have to use Manny for an extra 30% crit damage, I think. Let me quickly check. Yeah, I did not even have to use Manny or Q for an extra 30% crit damage. And Slater adds more than 30% crit damage. And it's way easier to use because with Manny, you can use your Q and you get this circle. And if the dragon is outside of it, or if I'm here, it doesn't count. I have to be in it. Like here I have the buff. Here I don't. So I have to be in that circle to get the 30% crit damage. Slater, I can hit his full charge Q like this. And the debuff is on the enemy and the buff is on myself. So I always have it no matter where I'm standing. Plus, he's an SR character and not an SSR character like Manny. So he is easier to get. He's cheaper to build. It's just so good. In my opinion, he's the best support character in the game. So now that you guys have seen Slater, his use in a fight, I'll show you guys what I recommend to build on him. So for his weapon, you're going to use the axe. And you are going to want to use an axe you get from the gacha. So it's just any purple axe from the gacha, but it has one specific requirement. It has to have first strike. I do not have this axe myself, but once I get it, I will use it and upgrade it. Because if you read this passive, when you're attacking an enemy whose remaining HP is 100% or higher, you increase their damage taken by 20% for 20 seconds, which even further upgrades when you go to enhance and go to limit break. If you put all these stones in, you need like 50 I believe, you'll get level 7 first strike. On your first hit, you'll increase their damage taken by 50% for 20 seconds. So then your Q will increase the damage taken by 50% for 20 seconds. It will do 20% crit resistance down on the enemy, and it will add 30% critical hit damage in one Q ability, which is absolutely nuts. Let me really quickly spam these in real quick to see how many stones it takes. If I'm right, it's 50. Yeah, it takes 50 stones to level it up, 400k gold, and you'll be doing that extra damage. So if you have that axe, I recommend you guys build that axe and use that passive to your advantage, as it will add even more damage. Then for his gear, I recommend you make his normal outfit, this one. This outfit gives a debuff duration increase by 25, 30 or 35%, which is very simple. It's a very cheap outfit to make. I don't have it yet because I don't have stamina to get the gear items themselves to make this outfit, but I will make this outfit once I can, which makes sure that all the debuffs I do to the enemy will stay for longer, which means bleed. Bleed stays longer for 20, 25 or 30% longer. So if I have a 20-second bleed, I can just extend that by a little bit by having an outfit on him that's in general pretty good and will give him a lot of stats. So his other outfits, you could make them, but I don't think they are better for support Slater. Maybe they're better for a DPS build or any of these other two weapons, but for using him with the axe in this use case as a support, I think it's 100 times better to just use his normal outfit, use the axe from the gacha, and you don't even need to do anything else. It's just for the buffs. He doesn't need to do damage. You don't even have to upgrade the axe itself to a higher level. It just matters that he hits his Q attack and it does the damage. So yeah, guys, if you build him like this, I think it will help you guys a lot in your boss fights. It works on every single boss in the game. If you do already do too much damage, you won't really notice the difference. For example, if I fight a red demon, he will just die too quickly and I won't really notice the effect of Slater. But if you have a fight that takes like over 30 seconds, his ability is very much noticeable. So yeah, guys, I hope this helped you guys, and I'll hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.